Hey guys, this is DATOHLEONG, and in this video, I'll be doing a laning comparison of Immortal players versus Divine and Ancient players. In this video, you will see a weak laning duo of Morphling plus Phoenix played by Immortal players versus an extremely strong laning duo of Necroforce plus Rubik played by an Ancient and Divine player. The Immortal duo did end up winning the lane despite having the weaker hero combination, and I'll explain why and how we did it, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll pick up some stuff and play like an Immortal player yourself. This is a warm-up unranked game, which is the reason why there are massive rank difference. I would also like to add a disclaimer that my friend and I queued 2 men into a 5 stack, so the opposing laning duo is not 2 solo queue players but are of the same party. So let's get right into it. Necro plus Rubik is an extremely strong laning duo because both of them have nukes right from level 1 and they are able to push the lane against Morphling and Phoenix easily, which is going to force the Radiant duo to tank creeps. Rubik and Necro are also able to secure range creep with their nukes, while Morphling and Phoenix have 0 ways to secure range creep, so that puts us in a massive disadvantage. If the Necro manages to push the creeps into the Radiant tower, Rubik will be able to pull the big camp and deny creeps away from the Radiant. Both Necro and Rubik are extremely nuke heavy, so it is expected to take a lot of damage from them, but I'll show you how to deal with that in the later part of this video. Morphling is an extremely weak level 1 hero and usually requires a support that is either able to soak a lot of damage for him or have such a strong trading capability that both offlaners have to deal with before harassing the Morphling, and Phoenix is just not that hero. The game plan for this game is just to survive the laning phase, then dominate the mid to late game, but I will only be focusing on the laning phase in this video. So the very first thing that the Immortal Phoenix player do is to block this camp and prevent the pull. Notice that he has an Observer Ward as well as a Sentry Ward. He's going to make sure that this camp will forever be blocked, so even if the Observer Ward gets dewarded, he will Sentry and reblock it. It is important to guarantee the 1 minute creep block, so the earliest deward into pull comes at 2 minutes, and that is going to buy time for both Morphling and Phoenix to hit level 2 if he did not reblock the camp in time. Since we are the weaker laning duo, we are going to completely give up on the rune and not burn unnecessary regen, as it is just not worth it. If we die there, we will lose the lane right off the bat. So right after the rune is taken, the Phoenix player is going to check if the enemy is blocking creeps. If they are blocking, I'll go back to block my own creeps. If they are not blocking, I'll let go of my creeps. So in this case, the Necro misses the block, so I will not block my own creeps. The goal is to allow the first wave to end up around this area so the tower doesn't hit it, nor is it too far away to farm. At the start of the laning phase, both Immortal players already queued up a magic stick with some items, as we are expected to get spammed a lot in lane and we want to get the best value out of the trade, while the Divine and Ancient player haven't queued up a single item. As the creeps meet, the Rubik is leaning on the left side of the lane, so I position myself towards the right side of the lane so I don't take unnecessary damage from the Rubik. The Phoenix player then started trading with the Rubik one-on-one on the left side of the lane, preventing him from getting anywhere near me, so I only have to worry about the fight for last hits against the Necroforce. The Dire duo will be looking to push the creeps under the Radiant tower and Fate bot the Morph, so I won't be able to easily last hit under tower. In a few seconds, one player on this lane is going to make a huge mistake, and I'm going to pause this clip right here, so if you want to, let me know in the comments who do you think made the mistake and what the mistake is. Have you found the mistake? Okay, so here's what happened. The player that actually made the mistake is the Rubik. The Rubik has been consistently trading with the Phoenix, so he should be certain that the Phoenix did not body block the huge camp. Rubik should have gone back to check if the camp is blocked, because once the creep gets shoved under the Radiant tower, they won't have a creep to pull afterwards, so getting the deward is the top priority, but due to noticing it late, this lane will turn out to be very hard for the Dire side, and I'll go more deeply into that later on. Now the Rubik repositioned to the right side of the lane so that he can hit me, so I reposition myself to the left side of the lane to reduce the damage output. The Phoenix player is now positioned way further left, so he's able to harass the Necro without fighting the Rubik, and so far the Immortal squad is in a way better position to farm and trade. As the wave get pushed on the tower, the lane is going to be pushing and the Phoenix immediately recognized that the wave has to be fixed so that I can farm safely, so he ignores the next wave and went for the 53-second stack. During that time, I was playing very passively in the fog, waiting for my support to make the pull happen, giving up all the potential last hits. It is always better to be alive than to be dead, even if you don't get the farm. Rubik soon recognized the situation, so he went to contest the stack pull, which left me in a 1v1 with Necrophos. If the pull is contested, the wave will not get resetted back into my favor, so I will have to make my own play to attempt to reset the wave. Since Necro's heal have AoE damage, I'm going to trade with him and force him to heal so that the wave pushes back to me. Note that I'm only doing this because the Rubik walks to the small camp to contest the stack. If I were to do this in the 1v2 situation, it is very likely that I die here. Creeps have been resetted in a good position for me to farm, but there's still no neutral camps for the Rubik to pull. Despite playing the losing matchup, the early mistake by the Divine player is really hurting them greatly. Necro has a lot of damage over time, so I purchased even more Tango on top of my 6 Tangos to stay in the lane. Rubik's sentry arrived at 2 minutes, which means that the earliest pull that they can get off is 3 minutes. Unfortunately, Rubik made another huge mistake by missing the D ward. The Phoenix player placed the ward on the extreme edge of the spawn box, and due to Rubik's inaccurate warding, the Dire might never get to see the hard camp throughout the whole laning phase. It is important that I stand in lane as long as possible, and dying is not an option. Therefore, I'll be looking to keep my health near the 200 HP mark, because since I have Fairy Fires, I will potentially have 300 HP, and that will be enough to keep myself alive from the burst. Now that the wave is back under my tower and 2 players are trying to bully me in lane, the Phoenix recognized that he will not be able to help me at all, so he immediately flew towards the pull camp and made the pull as both players' attention is on me. Because of that, I get to farm another wave under my tower. It is important that you recognize the options that you have, as well as what you can and cannot do. Sometimes your support have no better option than to abandon you and go pull some creeps, and sometimes it is okay to let go of a few creeps so that you get more creeps later on. Since I'm tanking a lot of creeps under tower, I'm running out of Tango, so I'll rebuy them again. So far, I bought a total of 4 sets of Tango just to survive the harass, and my Phoenix has a Salve ready as well. On the Dire side, they are almost out of regen as only Rubik has a Salve. So on the regen department, Team Immortal is winning. In a few seconds, a massive trade is going to happen, and there will be another huge mistake made by one of the 4 players in this lane, and let's see if you can find the mistake. Comment below if you found it. Necro is the player that blundered here. The trade began when both Necro and Rubik threw their spells on me, and Phoenix attempted to fire spirit both Dire players as they are standing in a straight line. After Rubik casted Fate Bolt, he has no mana left, and the only player that hasn't cast a spell is Morphling, and that is because I was waiting for level 4 for level 2 waveform. The difference between level 1 and level 2 waveform is double the damage, so that is pretty huge. The Necro went over aggressive because he thinks that he can kill the Phoenix that have no Icarus dive, but he miscalculated one spell. The rune is about to spawn, so I push out the lane and both Radiant duo move towards the rune together. Necro just respawned, but instead of walking towards the Bunty runes, he walked towards the creep wave, and now this Rubik is in a lot of trouble. Now I could have waited from forward for the rune, but we made the decision to kill the Rubik instead, so I'm going to be patient on the waveform. If I were to go in first, the Rubik could have lifted me and he might have survived. If I waveformed in too soon, the lifted Phoenix could have dropped on me to stun me, so I'm going to be really patient for this kill. So after all the hustling, I've reached level 5 with a Morbid Mask, and I can no longer be contested in lane, and I'll take that as a win. I hope that you have learned something from this video. If you do, please like this video and I'll make more of these in the future. I do stream from time to time here on YouTube, so subscribe with notification on, or follow me on Instagram and Discord as I usually announce it there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.